A little while ago, I made a video where I tried to play WorldBox for 1,000 years without allowing a single death. And unsurprisingly, it was pretty hard to do. I mean, we kind of gotta admit, WorldBox is pretty much a game entirely based on the concept of death, if you think about it. I mean, if you even click on the deaths tab here, where you can see the total amounts of deaths in the world, the fact that there are so many different ways to die in this game kind of indicates how much death is prevalent here. But today, instead of trying to have absolutely zero death, which is pretty boring if you ask me, we are going to try to have all of the death. In specific, we're going to try to see if we can get this total death counter to be over 1 million, which I have never even personally seen before, so this is sure to be really interesting. But here's the twist. I only have 1,000 years to do it, and the only type of deaths that count are going to be deaths from conflict. Otherwise, I could just use like the life eraser and kill tens of thousands in seconds, or literally just wait the whole thing out for 1 million people to die naturally. But no, we are going to make this as difficult as possible. Let's get right into it. And we see a lot of creatures begin spawning in and roaming around here, but since we can only use deaths from conflict here, we're gonna have to engineer some unique ways that probably have never been seen before with the sole purpose of killing. My first thought is to spawn in a bunch of humans here and then just simply give them all the madness trait, which means they'll start going ham on one another like you would think, screaming death fires everywhere. However, after about a year of that, we've lost nearly all the humans and only about 100 deaths to show for it, so we're not going to be able to BS our way through this entire challenge. Things are going to have to get serious quickly, and since we only have 1,000 years, that means we have to average 1,000 deaths a year, but we're already past year 10 and only have 100. Why am I still talking? We got to get to work here. Luckily, I have utilized a couple of mods for this challenge, the AVB's Ultra Trait Pack to give me a ton of traits, and the WorldBox mod to add more guns, bunkers, tanks, and crap. But I do actually have a fantastic idea here for our first experiment, as I have spawned in 300 people here that I have dubbed the test dummies, and you are going to see why they are the test dummies here. Because in their subspecies, I have given them the trait where they are unable to move. Then in their birth editor, I have made it so all of them have the duplicator trait, replicative immortality, where it says they always come back, the immovable trait where they can't be pushed around by knockback, and also the charismatic trait. This one doesn't actually do anything, but just, I mean, look at it. It looks absolutely cool as hell right there. So I'm going to put them in their own little hill area right here. Since they physically can't move, we don't really have to contain them. And then next to them, we're going to spawn in a few penguins, where they will also be made unmoving, but instead given the traits where they cannot die, have super attack speed, and will all be equipped with automatic rifles. I think you see what we're going for now. Then we simply give all the test dummies something like the golden egg desire right here, and then we should be able to just watch the fireworks as the penguins begin shooting and killing the test dummies. But like I thought, the test dummies will then begin duplicating themselves. However, unfortunately, the total death number just doesn't seem to be moving up that quickly. Let's look into that. Only a few extra deaths from conflict here. Maybe we can fix this issue by cloning more of the penguins. Okay, now over 200 penguins going up against the test dummies here. Surely this increases the numbers some. No, not quite here. It looks like somehow these deaths aren't actually counting towards deaths, giving us another big issue here. So I'm going to try to get rid of their immortality trait here, maybe to see if that still helps. Nope, instead they all just get massacred on the spot, including all of the women and children, because of course they are too. That was kind of brutal, but at least we have over 1,000 kills now, but that's not even close to our goal, so we're going to have to figure out something better here. And I think I might just have another idea that will involve the penguins and could potentially work. And this new idea really is quite simple, but it could lead to tens of thousands of more deaths that we are looking for here. Basically, I have spawned in a bunch of humans on this side who have all been given the ethereal harp desire, and then spawned the ethereal harp over here. However, if these people want to get to the ethereal harp, they are going to have to pass through the penguins, who all have the golden egg desire, and everybody knows that the golden egg desire versus the ethereal harp desire is pretty much just extremely blatant racism. But we're going to unpause and let the humans begin running down as they're about to run to their graves. But as they run, I want to begin cloning them passively so that there's even more of them and we don't run out. And here goes the hellfire. As you can see, thousands of waves of humans are running onto the penguin onslaught. Not a single one of them passing, as they are all just lighting them up with their assault rifles. Explosions ring out here and there, but I gotta keep these clone numbers up, otherwise these guys stand no chance at all. Actually, as a matter of fact, if I clone them right here near the source, they immediately just get slimed out. But now I think I'm starting to overwhelm their numbers, as people are starting to get past. The penguins don't know what to do, they're about to be overrun. But as I continue cloning and speeding up time here, I'm not quite sure if this is entirely viable here. The death numbers are rising up, but a lot of people are getting past, and I'm not sure if that death number is just rising quick enough. Remember, we need about 1,000 per year, and right now that is just not happening at all. However, it seems that at the moment there really isn't a much better way to make a killing machine in this game. But if you look at our current design right now, it doesn't really look that good. It looks pretty crappy. So how about I just try and make it better? So I have a design in mind, and I'll be right back. So introducing to you the fortress. As you can tell, it's a pretty simple design. It's just a rocky castle that is surrounded by countless watchtowers, and in the middle, over 1,000 penguins. Every single one of them armed with an automatic rifle. Pretty much just like a Jackal family reunion right here. But on the other side, we have 8,000 humans, all of which have the ethereal harp desire like before, but also the duplicator trait from birth, and the ability to have 1 billion kids at a birth rate of 1 billion with 0 maturation period, meaning these people don't even get pregnant, they just start plopping them out. It's probably really weird if you think about it. The idea is hopefully that as they run along towards the ethereal harp, they like start having kids and duplicating along the way, meaning there's like infinite people. But I mean, we just gotta see what happens here, so let's click unpause. Like I expect, they all begin running towards the harp, making this really weird formation. They all seem to take the same route, as they are getting absolutely lit up by everyone who sees them. However, despite the amount of manpower, it might not be enough, as they are still getting through here. We have to put the harp back quite a bit so it's not in range of the penguins, but this is not looking good at all. There's just too many of them. And now a lot of them are trapped over here, but you know, that actually kind of gives me an idea. If we destroy the harp and we put it as close as possible without allowing them to shoot at it, all of the people will move over here and they'll move straight into the range of the gunfire here. And if we do this like 3 or 4 times around the middle, we might be able to make a really efficient machine. But unfortunately, you can only spawn 1 harp at a time, which is actually quite a bit of an issue. So now we're back to square one. But I think I might have an idea to make this still work, so I'll be right back again. So now I present to you the Ring of Fire, which again has a surprisingly simple concept behind it. What I noticed is every so often people attracted to the ethereal harp desire will be pushed back by it at some point, and the radius of that push is in a circle roughly this big. So I figured if we actually physically entrap everybody in the ethereal harp, they will not be able to run away, and then I just surround them with the penguins who will subsequently open fire on the middle here. And the best part about all of this is I can continuously clone them while they're being shot at. So if I click unpause, they should try to open fire on everybody in the middle, just like that. Oh my god, that's actually perfect, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I have to keep the cloning up as quick as I can. And as we can see, as I'm cloning, deaths are flying up while time's not even passing that much. This might actually be the method here. Kills continue soaring, but unfortunately, they just killed them so quickly. I'm actually going to have to spawn in a lot more and start cloning them from the very start. So about 10,000 like so. Continue doing it, click unpause, and holy crap, that's a lot of people. I can't even see the gunshots come off, but I can see that sapient population is just draining as everybody in the middle is dropping like flies. Holy crap. And as I wrap up trying to clone all the people in the middle here, they are all absolutely murdered. However, one thing you will actually notice here is because this radius is so perfect, none of these guys are actually in the range to shoot the ethereal harp in the middle, which is very convenient. However, in 67 years, we have 49,000 kills, only 38,000 of which are from conflict, so we're quite a bit behind schedule here. However, I think what I'm gonna have to do here is get rid of some penguins so that we can make this slightly more efficient and possibly use this machine all the way until 1 million. So now I leave just about 1,000 of them left here, so hopefully they will not be able to shoot as much. So let's get humans back here in the middle, and after we get a little bit, I'm going to click unpause, just see what happens here. Sapient population is still falling way faster than I can clone these people. However, it is actually getting a lot more sustainable now, but as they murder everybody, we did get nearly 30,000 more deaths from conflict, which is like 3% of our total goal here. We're getting really close. We just need to find the perfect balance where I can clone the people in the middle slightly faster than the penguins outside are slaughtering them. So unfortunately, sorry guys, I'm going to have to kill some more penguins. It brings a tear to my eye, but unfortunately, like the old ancient saying goes, you have to kill some penguins to kill some humans. I'm not quite sure whoever said that, but whoever did was probably a very smart man. So let's see if this is finally enough. Here goes nothing here as we're spawning in more humans. They are getting absolutely wrecked. And with that said, we are now up to 107,000 total deaths, with almost 100,000 of those being from conflict, which I'm not gonna lie is like one of the highest numbers I've ever seen. However, now that we have finally found our perfect killing contraption, the only issue is, are we gonna be able to beat the clock? As we can see, it's already year 117, and I only have 1,000 years to do this. However, I'm going to go into the debug menu here and turn on sonic speed, which makes your game go 40 times faster. And this is because the faster your game goes, the faster your powers go too. Look how fast I'm cloning these guys. And right now, I think the only thing we can do is go into a super long time lapse to see what happens first. Over 1 million deaths or year 1000. If anything interesting happens, I'll let you guys know, and I'll see you guys then. And finally, we approach year 1000, but since I was showing everything on the time-lapse, you know how it turned out. Unfortunately, we weren't even close. Only 520,000 deaths were obtained during this time, and you know, I kind of feel like I'm undermining that a bit, because we still ended up having 520,000 kills in total. As you saw during that whole time-lapse, I was fiddling around with different things, changing the weapons of the penguins, getting rid of or adding some more penguins, adding more people. I really tried my best, and we still couldn't quite do it. We see that we got barely over 500,000 deaths from conflict, which to be fair, is the most I have ever seen in this game by far. Yeah, that really isn't anything to scoff at all. I'm actually pretty concerned for these penguins, because just imagine what these guys had to go through. They had to stand here, literally physically unable to move like so, for 1,000 years, with nothing else to do but hold a rifle in their hand and open fire on innocent humans in the middle. But I mean, they're penguins though, so if they're anything like me, then they probably didn't have any problem doing it at all. But actually checking the most interesting people here, the penguin with the most kills is Tugo with 4,557. Jesus Christ, he's seen some things. And wait, the youngest person is 259 years old. How is that possible? Oh, wait a second. I forgot. Everyone in the middle is just a clone of somebody else. And they kept getting cloned repeatedly until the point where they are today. That's actually kind of sad to think about, because it just means that the same couple hundred people have just been reborn, cloned, and murdered over and over. But just because we didn't hit our goal in the world this time doesn't mean I'm going to give up now. Since I clearly couldn't come up with the most efficient way to kill 1 million people, I'm going to put the ball in your guys' court. I want you guys to comment right now the best ways that you can think of trying to kill 1 million people, because clearly I couldn't do it, and I am going to save this world right here and come back to it, and in a future video, I'm going to use those ideas that you guys commented to hopefully try to reach the 1 million death mark. But hey, this is still the most total deaths I have ever seen in WorldBox, and not a single one of them was from natural causes. This is probably the worst universe you could ever live in, isn't it? But anyway, if you're still watching at this point, clearly I did something to entertain you, and I would appreciate it if you would click like and subscribe on your way out, join my Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.